On August the 29th, 2020, the town of Leytonstone rallied the local musical talent to perform. 12 front gardens were given over to live sets from over 40 artists. The stage was set for the inaugural Leytonstone Unplugged. A wonderful parade of genre and style progressed from patio to carport, lawn to leafy enclave. The air of the town chimed for the first time in some while with the joyous thrill of live performance. The musicians came to entertain the community, and all turned out to raise funds for the Musicians Union, to support the union in support of the musicians, and for mutual aid to help them feed the community. And everyone had a jolly good time.
So the idea of Leytonstone Unplugged came about at our local Labour branch meeting. We were having a discussion, everyone was sort of talking about how lockdown had been for them, and I was trying to think of something that would be positive for the community and enjoyable and sort of boost morale, which was really needed.
And we'd also just had the speaker from the Musicians Union.
Exactly.
And I think one of the things that inspired you was because during lockdown lots of people sang in their front gardens.
Yes.
So we knew it was a thing you could do in lockdown, but you just took it to a totally different level. It was so creative what you did.
So this was a really good way of being able to socially distance and enjoy music.
While also fundraising for the Musicians Union Hardship Fund and local mutual aid. So it was a really sort of lockdown-inspired event to raise money to support people because of lockdown. So it was like a virtuous circle, really.
And it just made me realise how many musicians there are actually living in Leytonstone, which was lovely to know, and it sort of opened a lot of a sort of good community now within Leytonstone, that lots of musicians are contacting each other off the back of this event. And very, very talented bunch, very creative in Leytonstone.
And we also had support from a sort of more admin-y type support from people who came and helped out and lent us high-vis vests, like Tom, and one of our councillors, Clyde, helped to sort out some of the sort of legalistic sides and get the permissions from the council to put it all on.
Tell me why you keep fooling little Coquette, making fun of the ones who love you, breaking hearts you are ruling. Fond hearts patiently waiting for you. One day you'll fall in love as I fell.
We had a member of the Musicians Union, Michael Sweeney, come and talk at our local Labour Party branch about how sort of hard done by musicians are at the moment, that it's sort of like in quite a dire state, and how funding was really needed to be raised. And that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to raise funds for the Musicians Union Hardship Fund.
And the day is getting dark as the night comes in a falling. The dogs will lose their bark as the shadows close the silence I'm holding in my mind. It's just one.
I'm Keith Ames, I'm PR and Marketing Official of the Musicians Union. I have been working for the union since the late 90s. This current time is unprecedented. It's incredibly difficult for musicians at the moment, and we don't necessarily see an end to the situation when we can return to particularly profitable live work. Well, the first thing that the MU did at the end of March was set up a hardship fund. We immediately put £1 million into that, and we've already helped thousands of working musicians. It's not necessarily been huge individual payments, but they've really appreciated that support. Now, we've also received contributions from other organisations with the industry, including, for example, PPL have put considerable amounts in, and we've run a crowdfunder which is now up to the £70,000 mark, and any contributions by individuals, whether that's £5, £10, it's possible to donate by text to the MU fund, and the money goes directly to working musicians. So any events or fundraising initiatives are massively important and really appreciated by working musicians right now.
Both Rhiannon and I have been helping out on local mutual aid, cooking meals a few times for local people and helping get them all delivered. And we knew that local mutual aid had run out of funds for the meals, and there'd been lots of other people helping out in the community, and we knew we needed to raise some money for that as well.
Okay, so mutual aid is a national organisation, and as it suggests, it's mutual aid. It's people in groups coming together to help each other. So we've got one called Leytonstone Mutual Aid, and since April we've been running a helpline for people. We've been doing shopping for them and sometimes subsidising it as well as doing it, picking up their prescriptions and providing them with hot meals. And locally we've got a little project on the ground with St Andrew's Church in Colworth Road and Leytonstone Mutual Aid, and we just come together to cook what we can on a Monday. We try to make the most of food that's going spare, and there's a lot of food going spare. So we've got what they call food hubs, where excess food's given to them, and we talk to them and they say, okay, you can have this, you can have that. So it's a bit wild. Sometimes it's carrots and courgettes, and then if you're lucky it might be chicken, and I think we had monkfish one week. So there's all sorts of stuff, and we go there in the morning and see what they've got, and then try and make a recipe and cook it and get it ready for the evening. We're trying to emphasise the mutualness. So trying to say to people, if you're in need, you can have the Friday meal, that's not a problem, just give us your number and we'll deliver it. But if you want to do something a little bit more local, let us know, and we'd like you to contribute, either help cook, or help chop the food, or help pick the food up, or help put it in boxes, or help organise it, or make a financial contribution, or any and all of those things. So it's about trying to help each other with whatever resources you've got. So, if you know anyone that wants to come and help with their time, or their labour, or their food, or their cooking, or the money, step this way.
I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, life is still trying to get that great big view. I said, hey, what's going on?
Big shout out to all the people who lent their front gardens for it, and all the volunteers who helped out at the front gardens.
It was amazing. Loads of people who I didn't know, never met before, just gave their gardens up on the day, which is amazing and just shows how wonderful the community is in Leytonstone. It was a really successful day just because of everyone who was involved more than anything, and especially the musicians as well. It was really lovely to hear music and such talent as well. And it's sort of sparked a lot of creativity off the back of this. I think people are inspired to do more. Hopefully we'll have our own Leytonstone folk club. Someone's interested in doing an opera, which will be amazing. and lots of people are keen for it to be happening again next year, so we will see you next year at Leytonstone Unplugged.
So thank you so much for helping Organisers all to put that on, Rhiannon.
I hope it inspires lots of other people to do similar events, because I don't think things are going to change much for musicians in the near future, so the more funds the better. So if you are inspired and you want to put on your own a similar event, please get in touch so I can help you out.